Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Let's have a little look at these charts then, shall we? So, looking at the daily, you can see that it's effectively flat still. It's not bad. It's definitely still quite good in all fairness. Supports below us. First major one, 50,500. Next one, between 48,200 and 47,150. So there's plenty of supports below us in case, of course, we do come down, I suppose, to a larger extent. Does look like we're brewing that bearish divergence on the daily money flow index and the RSI. It's very small, but it is present. It definitely is there. So we'll take it to a 4 hour to see what's going on right now. Moving averages blending into one, which is all surrounding this major horizontal, which is the 51,800 zone. So lots of support on the 4 hourly sitting around there. But if it does get lost, because obviously supports do get lost sometimes, and at the moment we've been sideways for so long that, you know, if it does break, where are we going next? Back down to 50,500, which again, we've already suggested on the daily that is a... where's all my bloody indicators gone? A Hypertrader 3.0 is good, but it's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. So let's get back to the daily. Where's all my supports gone? Jesus Christ. Well, there is support down there anyway on the daily. We know that. We've established that, but something weird's going on with Hypertrader today. But yeah, lots of support around that area. And if we were to drop, it's still not a big deal. It would be a buy the dip environment. So look, if we take it down even further, we've got our 1 hourly even showing that actually we can get picked up as little as 52,000. A little bit of a pullback while I was doing the school run. So what I was saying last night on the Telegram, and if you're not a member of the Telegram, you can join. I do try and be present as much as I can, but it's one of those things you can only really put in as much as you can offer, which when you've got two little kids running around you, especially throughout half term, is very little. But what we're looking at basically, first of all, is that the Dixie. The Dixie has effectively broken out, but it's not generated a pump signal, not yet, but it's very likely to do that. And if we were to pull back on the Dixie today, which we might do, to be honest, it's 103.8 is where we begin support around, and then a bounce from there, and the 105.3 is the target to begin with. If you get to 105.3, you'll get a pump signal on a daily, probably coupled with a golden cross, and you'll be looking to take out the higher ranges. So I'm still bullish on Dixie, which means that I have to, through association with that, be kind of bearish on traditional markets. Now, we recognise that there was a big money flow index peak over here. There was a drive of bearish divergence over here. Same sort of thing taking place on the RSI. So it might not have reached its peak, but it's close enough to what I would consider to be a peak already. Now, in times of emotional buying, just like there is times of emotional selling, tops, they're hard to find, But what we do is we try to work out what the risk factor is when negotiating selling what we consider to be a top, or at least being careful in entering and exiting trades. Now, over the last week, probably a little more than that, I've been going in and out of trades very quickly, in at support, out at the next major resistance. I know everybody's talking about major continuation, huge bull market continuation, massive blow off top for altcoins and Bitcoin to 100k, all this sort of stuff. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen, but to hold out for something like that at this portion in what I consider to be the market cycle, which is effectively the same as it always has been, it doesn't really feel any different to how it's been. If you've been around for long enough, you will recognise that this is just a decent trading environment, but it's not going to mark the end of the cycle. It's going to push prices up, but then they will come down, because I'm pretty confident that they're all tied into traditional markets. And as good as the ETF is, and it is good, if for whatever reason they need to sell, that's a hell of a lot of selling pressure that's going to take place from an ETF perspective. So, it's good that they're buying, but they will also sell. There's no point for ETFs just to buy and never sell. That's not how it's going to work. They will sell. They will sell. And how much have they scooped up at the moment? Something ridiculous, like 80,000 Bitcoins since the ETF launched. It's quite a lot across the board. So, that would likely see a bit of a pullback if some of that was to get sold, especially if the markets appear to have peaked and a bear market, it's probably not the right word, but a consolidation that will take several months to complete is underway. Now, if I was... well, I've got plenty of skin in the game, but if I was in control of other people's funds through an ETF, I would probably think about selling some if we establish a temporary peak in the market, only to buy back lower, because that's how I operate myself. But especially if I was looking after other people's money, I'd be extra careful. I do not want to leave a sour taste in clients' mouths, and with overexposure to an asset which can and might even retrace to the tune of 50%. Let's face it, it's not unique to Bitcoin. All sort of, charts do that across the board, regardless of crypto. But you know what I'm saying. So if we're looking at the S&P, then we might be looking to cool off a little bit. First major target is going to be back down towards 4,760. And obviously Bitcoin, if and when it decides to establish its peak, we'll be coming down back into the 50s to the 40s. And depending on how long the consolidation kicks in and how much FUD arrives throughout that consolidation, we don't know how deep it can go. But I did say yesterday on the Telegram that I can see it coming back down into the 20,000 at some point over this year, but that doesn't mean that you should hold out for those prices. Personally, if you've got a good position in Bitcoin, I bought into this bull market this time round around 21,500. That's where the vast majority of my cash went in. I'm not going to get shaken out of that position, nor will I get shaken out of a lot of my altcoin positions from back down at that beginning of that cycle. But if you're trading, then just be careful. Just be careful with it. So I mean, Ethereum looking quite good now, pushing up and up and up. We do look like we want to brew a little bit of bearish divergence, but I wouldn't really consider that to be a real thing. The first major target for Ethereum was 2,800. Second one after that is going to be 3,000 flat, which is where we kind of are moving towards, probably even today. The major sort of toppy kind of vibe on this one for me is going to be around 3,004 to 3,500. Now, if we think about that, this goes back to maybe a couple of months ago when I was talking about what altcoins might end up doing, which would be to move from one range to another. The range high for total 2, so the market cap including Ethereum but excluding Bitcoin, we're more or less at that peak now. And when we measured the moves up together, recognizing that Ethereum is one of the major drivers of this chart in the first place because it's so market dominant, they measured out roughly about the same, and so we are looking, I think, at potentially finding a peak in the market. And I know everybody's going crazy for altcoins, and I love it as well. I do love it, and there is opportunity here in dips to be bought. And I was presenting this yesterday with XRP, and it's still a very realistic trade. We have to accept that it can actually happen, but it's not going to happen in the face of a declining market, and that would be stocks, that would be Bitcoin, and obviously everybody else as a result, including XRP and Furry Face, Moon Boy, Doge Pepe, Elon Baby token. All of those, they're all going to come down through association with a larger pullback, a consolidation in the market. So the bigger picture for me has not changed whatsoever. Still looking to find that consolidation and just wait it out and scoop up when we start to see the opposite of what's happening right now, which is signs that tops are forming. We will be looking later on down the line for signs that lows are forming. That's the way to trade, baby. That's how it's done. But until then, you can buy these dips given to us by Bitcoin pullbacks. And at the moment, Bitcoin is still moving up. If Bitcoin does pull back, 50,500, and then arguably, back down into the upper 40s, those are the dips that get bought if we get them. Well, I say if and when we get them, but if we get them. The altcoin dips will be the better dips to buy just in this short period of time, because it's not just the charts that I've shown you, but it does look like we're getting a clearer rejection now on the Bitcoin dominance. And if that is the case, yes, we might find our way back down to 51.5% dominance, which is still quite good. Still quite good. But yeah, opportunity in the market, definitely. Risk in the market, absolutely. I would definitely advise buying only on dips, planning your trades, never FOMOing close to what I consider to be a top. Absolute no way should you FOMO. If you miss a move in crypto, you just have to sit back and accept that you've missed it and look forward to the next one, because there's always going to be a next one, right? There's always going to be a next trade. There's always going to be another opportunity. And I'm telling you now that the biggest opportunity will be much later on down this throughout this year. It's going to be epic. That just do not FOMO. That is crazy. There's no reason for anyone to want to do that. It's just madness. You're just going to get hurt. It's just crazy stuff. It's like crossing the road, right? You're desperate to get to the other side. What are you going to do? Run across blindly, risk getting hit? Or you want to wait for the green man? I'm a green man kind of guy. And yeah, I'm going to wait for the green man. Whether you do the same is completely your choice. Anyway, I'm going to leave with you there. There's nothing much more to say. Wait for American markets to open to see what the future of the S&P is going to be. And then that might help us decide what the future of crypto is going to be. But I personally advise that my trades are going to be based around Bitcoin pullbacks, altcoin bounces. That's what my trades are going to be. But they are not going to be enormous trades. They will only be trading as much as maybe 20% of my available funds. The other 80% is going to absolutely just happy to sit on the sidelines, really, waiting for the green man, which won't be for quite a while yet. Right, thanks for watching. Long, boring, drawn-out video. Opportunity in this market, absolutely, but only for short-term trades, not for big hopium all-time highs. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of talk about Bitcoin moving to 100k this year. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just feel as though that is the sort of tweet or thumbnail that you will see that helps everybody move the goalpost. Oh, somebody's saying 100,000 this year. I'll tell you what, maybe 53,000 is not a bad buy-in. Buy. Okay. I'm just saying, don't deviate from your own plan. And if you don't have a plan, make one. You've got to make one, because otherwise you're screwed, basically. Don't let somebody else's tweet deviate you from your own plan that you've made in a rational, unemotional state of mind. Don't change the goalpost because somebody who seems to have lots of followers has said that 100k is inevitable this year. That's crazy. It's crazy talk. Me, personally, I would say that it's not impossible for that to happen, but I'm all about risk. And when the risk presents itself, it's unreasonable to pile in the cash at higher levels like this, even though we can see that. I'm not suggesting we will. So stand back, sit back, wait for pullbacks, buy the dips, sell the rips, and make sure that you've got a plan that you're working with. It's very important. Anyway, I'll leave with you there. If you want to subscribe, like this video, that'd be great. If you want to join the Telegram or the Patreon, links in the description below. Otherwise, hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.